going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings offseason and draft strategy really circle around what is going to happen with these two shirtless men. Kirk with Jerome, Ezekiel Cousins, the quarterback, and edge rusher Daniil, the real deal Hunter. Now, I would be fine having both of them back if the price is right, specifically Daniil. With Kirk, I mean, when Kirk says it's not about the money, I feel like it's definitely about the money. But I guess we will find out in short order as free agency comes barreling towards us in March. But with the draft coming up right after free agency, Matt Miller, ESPN, post-Senior Bowl week, did up a 2-round mock draft. And you're not spoiling lots of things, but so quarterbacks go win, play, show, 1, 2, 3. And also there's 5 in the top 13 picks. We'll let you guess which 5. Well, it should be easy to find out since the Vikings take a quarterback in the second round. But the Vikings, in the event that Daniil and Kirk leave, which is a non-zero chance, I would perfectly be fine with this. At number 11, he's got the Vikings taking Dallas Turner, and that's Dallas, the edge rusher from Alabama. This is what Matt wrote. The Vikings are at a crossroads. See you at the crossroads. With quarterback Kirk Cousins hitting free agency at 36 years young and coming off an Achilles tear suffered in Week 8. Could they pull the trigger on Michigan's J.J. McCarthy, Oregon's Bo Nix, or Washington's Michael Penix Jr.? Yes, but there are needs across the board. Daniil Hunter is a free agent, and Turner would perfectly fit D coordinator Brian Flores' defensive wish list at edge rusher. Turner had 10 sacks in his breakout 2023 season, and one NFC area scout thinks his ceiling is higher than that of former college teammate Will Anderson Jr., who went number 3 in last year's draft. Turner has excellent speed in space with a pro player comparison to Jaguars' Josh Allen. He's my top-ranked defender in the class and would be a steal this late in the night. And Dallas Turner, basically, yeah, he had a great true freshman season, 8.5 sacks coming in Tuscaloosa, and did bust out with 10 sacks in 2023. Had a sack and showed really well in the semifinal game against Michigan. So Latu of UCLA as well as Jared Verse of Florida State. They are a little bit older prospects coming in, and Turner is good. He's 20. He just turned 21 on Groundhog's Day. Happy belated birthday! So he definitely has age and development on his side. 6'4", 242, first team All SEC, and he is consensus All American. And he was absolutely studly. 55 pressures, 10 sacks, 81.6 PFF grade last year. And also, since the Vikings are entrenched in the 3-4, he's a true stand-up outside linebacker. Miller compared him to Josh Allen. If we want to scale up, I mean, is he a little bit of Von Miller? It certainly could be. And it's interesting because generally when you have a guy this toolsy and this young and full of traits and did have some premium college production at a premium program, like you would see him as a top 5 pick. But the fact that the Vikings could potentially get him at 11, it would make some sense there. Also, some concerns about a player that's coming in at 20, 21 years young, that they wouldn't have the power, especially at this position. But, I mean, Dallas Turner certainly is already playing in a grown man's body, and he would be ready to rock and roll if he has to be the one-for-one replacement for Daniil Hunter. Into the second round. So, spoiler alert, Penix falls to the second round. So, it goes 5 quarterbacks in the top 13 picks, and then nada. Now Penix, with age as well as health issues, I mean, you could see him dropping. And it's weird because Penix's week of practice at the Senior Bowl really is a Rorschach test, because a lot of prominent people thought that Penix really helped himself, especially after the Michigan national title game debacle. Some evaluators, Jordan Reed at ESPN, our guy, he thought that Penix did not do well. So it's sort of in the eye of the beholder right now. But the Vikings at 42. So first off, if I could sign up right now, not knowing if Kirk or Daniil is back, if you can get Turner at 11 and Penix at 42, I'd be okay with that. Now, yes, the Vikings don't have a third-round pick, so they would miss out on a lot of the premium defensive interiors, but yeah, so it is what it is. Potentially address that in free agency. So, at 42, taking Penix Jr. This is what Miller wrote. Penix draft stock varies depending on who you ask. That's what I just said. But the most consistent answer I've heard is second round, given the 4 season-ending injuries he suffered in Indiana, 2 knee injuries, 2 shoulder injuries. Penix has excellent arm strength and velocity, and as a pure passer, he's a first-rounder. He threw for nearly 5,000 yards in 2023 and helped lead Washington to the national title game. It would have been nice if he would have played in the national title game. or his O-line, or his running game, or his receivers. Or his freaking run defense, man. But those injury and durability questions push him to the Vikings. It's great news for Minnesota, where Kirk Cousins is set to become a 35-year-old free agent coming off an Achilles injury. Penix can be the quarterback in waiting if Cousins is re-signed, or an immediate starter if he's not. And Penix, it really is a roll of the dice because he is older of a prospect, as well as the durability questions are certainly there. But I mean, that ball explodes out of his freaking hand. Like, it is a hand grenade. It is a flick of the wrist, and it has velocity. It travels. And one of the more interesting concerns is that can he dial it back, or does he only throw fastballs? Like, can he throw a touch underneath? I think that's certainly something that could be worked into his game. But in terms of getting him in the second round, I think that he's an absolute steal. Now, sticking and picking a pick, taking him at 11, I fully understand the diciness there. Or would it be more palatable if you take him in the second round, or in a trade up into the back end of the first round? I certainly think so too. But I mean, the guy second in the Heisman race to Jaden Daniels, beat Oregon twice, had several last-second wins and big-time huevos drives his final year in Seattle, and 67% completion percentage, almost 5,000 yards passing, 91.8 PFF grade, 39 big-time throws as rated up by PFF. And, I mean, Penix, he's got the clutch gene, he's got a big-time NFL arm, and, so people poo-poo him for the game against Michigan. What about the game against Texas? And it's not like Texas has a bad defense. Texas had a top 10 national defense, man. He tore them up like a Kleenex at a stat party. And also the O-line greatly handled Murphy and Sweat. So Penix, people got a bad taste in their mouth because of the natty. Fully understand that. But, I mean, Penix's upside is certainly there. And also, he already looks good in purple and gold. So I would be perfectly fine if that's the route that the Vikings want to go down. And also, if the Vikings land the tier 1 edge rusher in this class, especially given his potential upside, like you haven't even reached Turner's ceiling yet. I think Latu and Verse, they're certainly high end, but I think that they may be closer to being tapped out than Turner is, given age and potential. So I would be perfectly fine if that's how the Vikings want to go down in that spot. But your thoughts are thoughts. Take a look at Matt Miller's mock draft. 17.0, probably. I'll go with Dallas Turner and Michael Penix Jr. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.